So we'll get started. So welcome to the elementary level. We're so glad you're here with us this afternoon. So I'm going to let Ms. Centeno go ahead and talk about first grade curriculum because I know that's what you're really interested in this afternoon.
Well, thank you, Ms. Miller, and thank you all for being here on this Sunday afternoon. I'm really excited to talk about first grade. I love talking about all the things that we do here on the Hilltop because it's really fun and special just place to be. But let me introduce myself. My name is Veronica Centeno. I graduated from the University of Incarnate Word. I'm from San Antonio, Texas, and I've been here at St. Luke's for 6 years now. My partner is Miss Escude. She has been at St. Luke's for 19 years. She's been teaching for over 30 years. She even has brought her daughter through St. Luke's. So her daughter was a St. Luke's student for many years. And she is a reading specialist. So she is super awesome to have as our first grade ELAR and language arts lead teacher. She's just amazing. So we're really lucky to have her and a great partner. So our first grade ELAR curriculum, which is English, Language, Arts, and Reading, is really just based in the beginning mostly on building up our phonics and our phonemic awareness. We do use some Spalding phonics mixed in with other strategies as well. Our kids always come in, if they've come in from pre-K 3 and pre-K 4 and kindergarten, they come into first grade already reading. So that's pretty amazing. Because our class sizes are so small, we're really able to differentiate and provide more of an individual education plan for each of our students, which is something that I really love and find very, very special here at St. Luke's, that we have that ability to do that here. One of my favorite projects that we do for language arts in first grade is we publish a book. So last year, our first graders published this book, A Haiku for You, and all of it is their writing. I give them a topic and we talk about different poems and different types of poetry. They chose the haiku. So you can see here, it's all their writing, all their illustrations, and I've combined them and we put them into a real published book that goes into our library, and it's there to stay for forever. So they think they've just thought that was so amazing last year. You should have seen their faces looking at this book. They were like, how did you make it a hardback book? And how did you get our pictures in there? And how did you do this? And I really, what I love is that, you know, they really did it. All I did was just kind of put it together for them. And the fact that they were published authors and they could tell their friends to go check out their book in the library was pretty amazing. So we're doing it again this year. This year they're also doing haikus, but it's a more of who am I? You have to figure out who I am. So this one, for example, says, I lives in Africa, looks like a horse or a donkey. My black stripes are cool. So it's a zebra, right? And so all of their writings, their haikus this year are going to be something you have to guess who are they? What am I? I visit your room. I trade money for your teeth after you lose a tooth. So it's the tooth fairy. So it's really cute. And they're super excited about it. And they're telling everybody about to go and buy their book because they're going to be famous. So I super love that they get excited. And that's really what we want for first grade, is for them to get excited about reading and writing and learning. So that was one of my favorite projects to talk about. In math, we have the latest and greatest, best math program out of Singapore. It's called Dimensions. Here's an example of our workbook. It's quite challenging program, but what I have seen over the last year and a half is a great improvement in their thinking skills and strategy skills as far as starting in first grade. And I think that's amazing because then it carries on from second and third and so on. So I really love this program. I love that it's colorful. Most textbooks that children get are not in color anymore. So I love that they put everything in color. It's really clearly laid out. And the program is amazing for me as a teacher. It gives me books to read to them, gives me projects, games. A lot of our homework is more game oriented rather than a worksheet. We want something where they're more engaged and it's more meaningful. So that's, I really love our math program, and it's brand new. Moving on to science, we have just finished, we started with our sky patterns this year, and we did a little moon and 3D moon project, which they really loved. And they had to, we did studied facts, and they wrote facts all around it. And then they painted their little moon. It's a little glow in the dark. So they're still talking about it, that it's in their room and it glows in the dark, and that they always have a full moon in their room. And it really became, we did that project. And then in our past years, we've also done a project that is a shadow puppet show project. And it's totally cross-curricular. It's science, it's social studies, and it's language arts and reading. It's a great show that we put on, and we do it for Grandparents' Day, so they really love it. And it's one of my also like really favorite things to do that really has to do with all of the subjects. It really encompasses everything. So I think that's really special. So our shadow puppet show is about Egypt and who built the pyramids. And every year we do a 3D pyramid project. This one clearly took the cake last year. I had like popsicle sticks in mine, and then this came walking down the hall, and I was quite impressed. But that just goes to show, you know, how excited they get about what we do here and what they're learning at school. So that one I got to keep. I had to negotiate some candy with the student to keep that one, but it was so cool. I didn't want to let it go. So that tells you about our first grade program. Our really special projects is declamations. It's a tradition here at St. Luke's that all the grade levels do. Basically what they're learning is public speaking skills. They get up and they recite a psalm and a poem of their choice. For first grade, they do it usually in our little chapel, which is really sweet and small. And they will recite their poems and psalms in front of their family. And it's a really special day and a sort of rite of passage for them, that they're not little anymore and they're big and they're giving speeches. And it's really super precious. Last year they did a lot of Shel Silverstein poems, which were really sweet and fun. And you can ask the second graders and even some of the third graders what their poem was, and they still know it. That's how meaningful it is to them. And then again, our shadow puppet show that we perform for grandparents and special friends. It was inspired by our science project, our science program, where we studied light and sound. So when we studied light, we talked about shadows and how shadows are made. And then that inspired us to do a shadow puppet show. And we had to pick a theme. And so they loved Egypt, and we just kind of ran with it. And now we do it every year, and it's something that they really look forward to.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Centeno. All right, and then here is their schedule. You can just kind of run through quickly and see. We do, students do participate in music and art each one twice a week. Same with Spanish as well. So PE is every single day. So they do get a well-rounded curriculum here, fine arts, as well as physical ed and their academics. So any questions so far? All right, we'll keep going then. All right, there is homework every night. So first grade, there are expectations to read every night, and that's across the entire school, as well as practicing math facts. And then whatever specific assignments are placed on our Google Classroom or our RenWeb for particular assignments. All right, second grade. Miss Orenday is new to St. Luke's this year. She is an outstanding educator and technology expert. We really appreciate that. She's extremely enthusiastic, and she's a wonderful asset to our elementary team and to St. Luke's, as well as Miss McIntyre. Miss McIntyre is also new this year. She's been in a self-contained classroom. She is team teaching this year. She is just an outstanding educator as well, and we are so grateful to have both of these ladies on our team this year. So second grade curriculum follows the first grade. We build on it throughout the elementary education experience. Same thing with the Dimensions math. The reading language arts, again, continues to build on what they know, what they have learned in first grade, and then grow from there. So they spend more time writing in second grade. And then, like, as I said, just continuing to build on previous knowledge from first grade. Science, as Ms. Centeno was talking about, is Teacher Curriculum Institute, the TCI. It's next generation science. Again, it continues to build on the basic core knowledge from first grade, where students they're asked to think about questions that they might have about a particular topic or subject that they're interested in, and begin to define the problems that they see in science. They learn to plan and carry out investigations, which we do particularly in third grade, and we'll get to that a little bit more. They, at the end, by the time they finish these 8 core topics, and especially in the engineering part of the equation, they can communicate that information back to us so that we understand that they know what's going on. A couple of things that second graders really look forward to is the literary pumpkin declamation. Here, this happens at the end of October, just around Halloween time. So they get to, they pick a character from one of their favorite books. They dress as that character, then they decorate a pumpkin as that character as well. And then they write a bio poem, their own original bio poems about that character, and then they declaim in front of their parents. Ms. Centeno will talk about Shark Tank a little bit.
Shark Tank's super fun. Okay, so Shark Tank is just like the show, basically. They create an invention, and then they have to sell it to you and pitch it to you, and all the parents come in, and we all look at their projects, and we pick 3 administrators to be like the Shark Tank judges, and they take it very seriously, and it's really so much fun. It's really neat to see what they come up with, and they just go far beyond what we ever imagined, and every year it just gets better and better. They love the idea of, of something that being like on TV. So that one is really fun. They look forward to that.
Right. And then their World Cultures project, that is a first through third grade activity. It started as a very small second grade, just very small history declamation project. And then it just exploded into first through third graders studying first graders with their ancient Egypt, with Aztecs, the Incas, the Mayans, and then the second graders study ancient China and ancient Greece. And then the third graders take on earliest Americans. And we've created this just unbelievable. We took over the entire parish hall, the entire lunchroom one day with just artwork that they created with the art teacher, with music and dance with the music teacher, just from all areas of math, science, engineering, and just created this amazing food, especially. We had food, we had costumes. It's just an amazing event, and they get so involved in it. And it was just an outstanding activity that we've really enjoyed creating and carrying on. So it's something that's a lot of fun to look forward to. All right, homework again. I won't spend a lot of time on that, but there's homework. Third grade, again, as I said, I'm Marvelyn Miller. This is my 7th year in San Antonio and at St. Luke's, but I have a world of experience teaching in Episcopal schools, and I love that. I love the community of an Episcopal school, and I have just thoroughly enjoyed being here on the hilltop and in San Antonio. I have a passion for reading, for language arts, and for history and science. So we really have a lot of fun as we go through our day. There's our schedule, the same thing. We have Spanish. On our off days, on our Tuesdays and Fridays this year, we're working between handwriting, working on cursive handwriting, fine-tuning that, and keyboarding skills. So again, we still have the music and art and Spanish and PE as well. All right, our homework. So we continue to move through our history with our core knowledge. We just completed ancient Rome. We have the Temple of Jupiter that we build. We use some of our engineering skills, create the Colosseum, all kinds of creations that we create. We have what we call the celebration of innovation and Roman declamations. And for third graders, their declamations are just in about 2 weeks from Monday on the 14th. And they will be reciting a poem about ancient Rome, some aspect that we have studied, anywhere from building roads, which they go out and find stones and sand, and we build roads, and we create, we try to recreate aqueducts that the kids have studied. So we create this ancient Roman city, have foods. It'll look a little bit different this year because of COVID, but we're trying to recreate as much as we can, so that the kids are so excited about it. Then we move into Vikings, earliest Americans, and the exploration of North America. Language arts, again, we continue. We spend a lot of time writing, not only creative writing, but assignments where they have a specific prompt. And again, with the public speaking, so that's where their declamations will come in. We spend time growing their language communications. All right, again, Singapore, we are multiplying and dividing by 2- and 3-digit numbers by the time that we finish our third grade math curriculum. So it is an in-depth, it is a hands-on type of methodology that we use to master this curriculum. As Ms. Centeno said, because it is a challenging curriculum. Kind of deep dives into rigor, but the kids enjoy being able to create their own ways of doing things. And so we're very much into, it's not only one way how to do the math, but however, the ways that they can come up with their problem solving skills and their ways of solving these kinds of problems. So we're looking for mastery, and they can prove that. So there's our curriculum. So it goes pretty deep. All right, again, science. And what kid does not like to study dinosaurs and fossils and environments? So we're wrapping up our unit where they explored fossils and how they can use the fossils of dinosaurs to help them understand what environments a long time ago were like. So forces in motion, weather and climate. One of the fun things that they love about that unit is that they get to build a weather forecast. So we film it. We have like a green screen, a room up in the library where they can write their own weather forecast and pretend that they are on the scene of a particular type of weather, and they get to describe it and are filmed on it. And then we have our life cycles and traits as well.